everyone, it's Ange. Welcome to an evening of soap making. Julian's at karate and the house is quiet, so I've got 30 minutes to bang out 2 loaves of soap, and so we better not waste any time. Okay, so it's a cold process soap, and I'm really excited to make this one because I have actually been drying my orange peels for this since Christmas when everyone was eating the mandarin oranges. So tonight we are going to be making a orange and oatmeal. I think I'll add the oatmeal, but an orange soap with these peels. So after they were dry, I put them into my like a little food processor, and I food processed them down. Oh, they still feel a little big, but they should be okay. Oh God, they smell so good. So yeah, so they're just you know, chop them down into tiny little pieces. And I might not even use the big ones. I could probably use some of the just the finer powder bits. So we'll put this to the side because we're going to blend those in at the end. We are using my basic soap recipe, which I posted before, but I'll post it again so that you've all got it. We are making a double batch. Batch will fill 2 of these loaves. First thing that we are going to need is we're going to need to pour all of our oils, and you can see the process. So when you're soap making, the first thing you're going to want to do is get yourself a good kitchen scale. This one measures in grams and ounces, and it tears off. It has an auto shut off, and it is rechargeable, so it's quite nice, but it does have an on-off button as well on the side. So we're going to put that on there. Hopefully you can see that. I don't know if you can see that. We're going to it only helps if it's on the ground. If it's level, tear it off. I'm in grams. And the first thing we're going to do, highlighting, is pour 900 grams of olive oil. 2, 30, 40, 50. 78, 80. Okay, oops, okay, I'm at 906, so I can just scoop a little bit back. So yeah, I hope everyone has been having a wonderful soap making journey. I did a craft fair in the fall, or at Christmas, and basically ended up selling pretty much, oh, there's 900 on the dot, selling out of all of my soap. So I'm happy about that, but in the meantime, I need to restock, and cold process takes, well, at least 30 days to cure. So I'm like, oh, if I want to do any more craft fairs, I better get on making more soap. And I've been wanting to share this one with you, so it's been taking some time just having the house to myself. And being able to, yeah, just have it be quiet so that I can do this. And I like making soap in my kitchen because I have all of my tools close by to do it. So I really do have to wait till everyone's out of the kitchen. Okay, so this is 360 grams of coconut oil. And I'm not going to do it right now, but for the sake of making sure that I get every last drop of coconut oil, I will heat this up in a pot of warm water on the stove. You have to be careful when you microwave. If it's got part of the metal liner on it, you can start a fire in your microwave, so be careful. If you want to microwave it, that's fine, but just make sure that you've got no metal left on it from the lid. So, but I have a new coconut oil beside me, so we'll just open this up. hands are all greasy. I should have opened it before. So yeah, so please drop me a comment below if you've been making soap and how it's been going. I am starting to embrace more natural colors. I'll show you in just a minute something that I just picked up off of Amazon, and I can use it to make soap. But I bought it because one of my next videos is my husband wanted, we've been working with tallow, and he wanted a shaving bar. So I bought it for one of the clays in there. So I'll open that up in a minute. I'm at 170, I need 360. So sorry, this is a bit of the slow process. Thank goodness there's only a few oils. So you can you can fast forward through this part, or stick around if you really want to see me measuring out all of the. I'm not offended either way. I swear. I promise. I'm not offended. If the if I look and everyone's fast forwarded through this part, I get it. I get it. I should have been more organized. Okay, coconut oil done. Okay, so the next thing I will put in here is a shea butter, and shea butter is expensive. I just found this guy off of Amazon. I'll leave him in a link below for anyone that's interested in, because it was a pretty good deal. It's 100% all natural, Canadian. It's got a long expiry date, and it's pretty pure looking. So the next one of those for a double batch is 360 as well. So I'm going to scoop that out. So yeah, so I started talking about asking anyone, you know, how is your soap journey going? You know, have you made any of the soaps that, you know, I've posted? I know I've been posting a lot of adventures lately. So for all of my soap makers out there that subscribe to my channel for soap, I want to say thank you for bearing with me and hanging in there. And you're just seeing those ones at the moment, because that's Julian and I have sort of been doing that. Like I said, I haven't been making a lot of soap, but that's gonna change, promise. So I want to get back into it, and I want to get into markets, because soap can be very profitable, and you can make good money. And if you can get into a reasonable market so that, you know, you're not paying hundreds of dollars to be there, which you shouldn't, you know, then you know, you only have to really sell maybe 3 to 6 bars of soap to cover your entry fee. And I'll let you out in 1 second, Scout. I gotta pour my castor oil, and then, you know, you can, you know, make a decent amount. So I've been making a few things. This is a castor oil that I also got off of Amazon. I'll leave a link in the description for you if you want to purchase these in, you know, large amounts. So castor oil is 180 grams. I know, Scouty, 1 second. I know you gotta go to the bathroom. What I like about this soap is it makes a really hard bar. I tried Becky's all olive oil, and I liked it, but it's a very soft soap. And for whatever reason, I got those nasty little orange spots that don't look good. So I was kind of disappointed with that after it dried. But otherwise, it was good, but it's too soft, I think, like for my liking. So I'm gonna keep sticking to my recipe here. And this is my lye container. there that I always use. Rinse my hands quick because they're greasy. And yeah, it's I like this as a good soap base to you know, make a nice hard bar. Okay, so this is where you're gonna want one of these, and you're gonna want a mask because the fumes from the lye when we go to mix it are gonna be quite strong. So bear with me. Okay, when in doubt, remeasure. Just take the time to remeasure. I got distracted. It's 244. I wear glasses for reading. You can't see, but when you make soap, I should have mentioned this right at the when you're making soap, I should have mentioned this right at the beginning. Just make sure you watch a video on proper, you know, soap making precautions. You know, you don't want to burn yourself. The lye in the water gets very hot. Always add the lye to the water. You want to make sure you've got glasses on and gloves. So, yeah, when you're making soap, just make sure that you take precaution because you don't want it to splash anywhere or get on you or do anything bad to hurt you. Okay. Okay, now I have everything measured out. Okay, so here is where we want to make sure, and when I'm blending and stick blending, I'll put the camera over it so you guys can see it. But this is where we want to be really careful because we don't want any splashes, we don't want to burn ourselves, and we don't want, you know, to hurt ourselves. Make sure your bucket's nice and clean. And then we're gonna add, you always add the lye to the water. So we'll put our water mixture in. Then we'll add our lye. And make sure you got your mask on for this because it's gonna make fumes. There, I see a hair in there floating. Okay. There, got it. Okay. And any utensils that I use for soap making, I don't bake or cook with them. They are strictly soap making material, like utensils. Okay, so this little water mixture I'm so bad, you guys. I pulled out my gloves and I didn't even put them on, but I'm gonna go to the water mixture. Look at all these honest mistakes I'm making. Okay. Don't do as I do, do as I say. Okay, in Celsius, this is 178 degrees Celsius, and in Fahrenheit, it's almost 80 degrees Fahrenheit. So like this spilled on you is going to do damage. Or splashed. So what I like to do is I like to melt all of my oils in my lime water mixture. I recently just had an issue where it volcanoed, so I'm going to go very slowly and kind of methodically, and hopefully I will not get a soap volcano. But wouldn't that make for a fun video? So I'm starting with my hardest one, which is the shea butter. But yeah, soap making, it's so easy. You know, if anyone can follow a recipe, there's so much information. I'm just gonna take the mask off. There's so much information online on how to do things. You know, I don't want to put in, you know, synthetic fragrances and stuff in my soap, so I steer away from those. I try to use, you know, all natural colorants and whatnot, because, you know, you're putting this, the whole point of, for me, for making homemade soap is, you know, that I'm not putting chemicals and extra additives and stuff like that. So I try to keep it very simple, very basic. Okay, this needs to vamos. Okay, I'm gonna add in my olive oil. But yeah, whenever you're doing, adding in scents and fragrances and stuff, you add them in at the end. So that's when we will add our stuff in. I like having my kitchen sink so I can just get rid of everything. Okay, and the last is the castor oil. I like pre-measuring and having everything out and ready to go. Time for a new one. If you make soap and you have one, what do you recommend? This is Oster. It's been around forever in my house. Only making soap, but it's been around. But we're gonna take it to a light trace. So it's gonna look like cream. It's gonna turn creamy. This is where glasses come in handy because you don't want this splattering on you. So this is 2 runny at the moment. So we're gonna keep blending and we'll thicken it up a little bit. And I just see something kind of floating in there, so I don't want that in there. Okay, again. So it's still just pretty runny. It's starting, but it's still pretty drippy and runny. Okay, I think this is where I might like to be if I was layering and doing colors. Reminds me, I need to show you the clays at the end. Okay. How are we doing? Couple more blends. that. It's a light trace on top now. Of course, oatmeal was a last minute thought, so now I need to go to my pantry and grab some oatmeal. And I've got some quick oats, and they're actually they're just PC Express quick oats. They are pretty much the right cut for doing this. So let's grab a spoon. You know, before I do that, let's put the orange in, because that was the whole point of doing this process, was to do the orange. So let's see what that looks like. Yeah, I think I still need to run some of these through the food processor. Okay, can you see that? Now I don't know how much to use. Just kind of adding what I think would be a nice amount. So maybe that was about a tablespoon. By hand, oh, see, it's starting to gel up. So that's fine. That's what we want it to do. But yeah, you don't want to, that's why you think you've gone too far with the trace, and then you're like, oh. So you know what? I think I could add even a little bit more. That's probably good. I'm going to say it's good because I don't want too much in there. I love orange, citrus, anything citrus. This is a little bottle of Cheer Me Up Buttercup, and it is bergamot oil, orange oil, lime oil, grapefruit oil, and lemon oil. So I'm going to grab, for a single batch calls for 1 teaspoon. So let's see how much, I don't even know how much I have here. Oh, I do have 2. Okay, I'm gonna add that in. I'm gonna add a few drops of wild orange. I don't think there's actually very much wild orange in here. So we're just gonna mix the essential oils in by hand at first, because my batter has really thickened up. And then I'll give it a quick zip zip just to incorporate everything. Oh, it smells so good. I'm gonna add the rest of the wild orange. I'm gonna do it. It's just not, it kind of dissipated after and there really wasn't very much left anyway. After I mixed it all in. I'm worried, guys. I'm worried that there's not enough. This isn't a very strong smelling one. Scout, your toy just ran into the kitchen. You're all about, feed me, Mom, feed me. Okay, we're just gonna leave it at that. I don't know if it isn't that strong. I just don't want to over add. Don't want to over add my essential oils and then have the batter go off. Check your molds before you dump stuff in, before you place your soap in there. Make sure they're clean. Clean up your spot. I'm a bit of a mess. Okay, here we go. Number 1. Number 2. Number 1. Number 2. And then I am not very good at decorating or doing stuff with the top, but we're gonna let it harden up. And then I'm gonna try my hand at doing a little scoopy design on the top. We'll see. But the soap has to firm up quite a bit for us to do that. So, but I like to tap them down. Get any air bubbles out. Get the soap to the corner. I will give this guy a little love, because he seems a little less full than the other one. It's probably about right. Okay, those look really good. Pretty happy with those. So now I just need to wait, I don't know, maybe another 5 minutes. You want it to be, yeah, it's still too soft. You want it to be firmed up, so that when you put your spoon in, it will leave the design, so to speak. Gift 5 clay set contains French pink clay, 8 ounces, French green clay, Moroccan red clay, kaolin clay, and bentonite clay. So I figure I'm pretty safe with natural clays to be using as colorants. So there's the pink clay. Again, another Amazon product. So I can open these. Moroccan red clay. Oh, it's got it on the back too. Tells you what it's been used for. French pink clay. That would be great for Valentine's Day. There's the Moroccan red. The bentonite, it's sort of a gray color. French green, or yeah, French green clay. And it tells you on the back too, suggested use. Mix it with some apple cider vinegar and then apply on your face and neck. Wash off after 10 to 20 minutes depending on your skin. But yeah, I bought it to color. There's my husband. Hi, I'm filming. Scout, it's Dad. And then I bought the kaolin clay, the white for this. So let's just look at it and see what it looks like. If I can get it open. Oh, there you go. Okay, just as you would imagine. It looks like white powder. So there, that's the white. So I'm going to use this one in the shaving soap bars. And I'm just curious, let's look at the pink one. And then hopefully my soap will be set enough that I can do a design on it, and then I'll wait 48 hours and then I'll cut it with you guys and show you what it looks like cut. Man, they've really sealed these things, which is good. Oh, it's so pretty. There's quite a bit of it too. And there's the pink. Okay, now I'm curious about the green. I think we're gonna have to make a Valentine's Day soap and color it and see what happens. Okay, one more, and then we'll... Oh, you're not gonna get through. Oh, it's a very light green. There's the... Add that in with some spirulina. It'll look good. Just want to make sure these are closed up really well. Okay, happy with those. So I had to relocate rooms, not a big deal. So we'll finish up in here and I'll show you what I decided was that I'm just not good at putting texture on soap tops. I need to maybe play around with it some more. But I'm happy with it just being flat. That being said, that's what most of my soaps, you know, come out as, just, you know, the basic block, and then I cut them up, so I'm actually pretty happy with just the way they turn out. They don't need to be fancy on top for me. I just left it as it was. There was really no need to, you know, try and play around with it too much. All right, as you can see, I didn't put any special marks or anything. I ended up just smoothing that one right out, and this one just stayed as it was. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cover them up with something on top of them, which I didn't bring in with me, but it's just a, it's just a cutting board. And then I'm gonna put a towel over top of these, and then I'm just gonna lay them to rest for the next 48 hours, and then we'll come back and we'll cut them up. And we'll have a look and see, you know, how the orange peel looks inside the orange. I'm curious, will it go brown? Will it stay orange? Those are all good questions.